Hey, hello everyone. Happy July 3rd, the big 4th Independence weekend, and now we're bleeding over into the week. Everyone, please say hello to my Monday co-hostess with the mostest, the cat with more hats than cat in the hat, who, by the way, I got a phone call from earlier. He said he's very, very envious of you. Randall, Santa Checker Lee.
Hey everybody, good to see everybody. Bob's talking about hats, and I didn't even put one on today, but I will. Don't worry. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got to look better, Bob. There we go.
Oh, there you
There we
go.
go.
We
We
saw
can't forget the Tuesday night because that's coming up quick. Yeah, great to see
rocking it
everybody.
out,
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
rocking it
My
out.
goodness, can you believe it? It's the 3rd of July already.
Oh
Oh my
man, it's
goodness.
insanity that the way the weeks are flying by here. You and I were just chatting. Depends on when you start your season, but if you start mid-October, you're 3.5 or so months away from getting suited up and ready to go to work. Some people it'll be closer to 4, but it's coming and it's coming quick, man. I tell you. And uh, want to remind everyone that tomorrow night we will be off, but this Tuesday night live show will air Wednesday live with our complete Tuesday night live or TNL family, as we like to call us. They're your family, our family. Of course, that would be Spangle the Clown, Angela Smack, Jessica Rosa, Scott Seritin, Randy
Bob.
Wagner right there next to me, Rex Ray, and we've added Melissa Lynn Santa Mel. She's one of our roadies and our roving reporter. So for Branson and beyond. So fantastic. Everyone will be on the show. It's going to be fun. And we reached out to one other guest, and we're going to see if we can get them on, and it'll just be a full house.
Wow. Talk about fun. Fun. What a way to start the holiday. I mean, or end the holiday. That's kind of ending the holiday. But you guys got
Yeah.
to join, especially since it's the 100th show. 100. That's a lot of
Show.
shows, Bob. Man, again, it is such a great thing that goes on in this community to do something for everybody like this. I mean, really, you guys got to be. I hope everybody's giving you a big round of applause for and everything
Yeah.
for what you've done all these years, putting all these shows on. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for you guys. It really is. We got to be very
And those
thankful.
100 shows is only the Tuesday Night Live. That's not counting the Monday show, the predecessor to you
Yeah,
and I and our shows.
yeah.
You add them in, and it's way on up there. But we're just counting the Tuesday Night Live show since it is a milestone, 100th that celebration. We had originally was going to do it tomorrow night, but there's so many families that go out on the 4th, picnics, fireworks shows, different venues that they go and do. And my family kind of said, "Hey, we had plans too. This is going to kind of make everything not right for us. So hey, we gave in. Said Wednesday's fine. Everybody, be tired. They'll come home. They'll sit at home on Wednesday and be ready to sit down and watch some Tuesday Night Live. Now I gotta say, if you live in the South, brother, it is hot.
It is very hot. It is. Guys, can you believe you're? I mean, you're how what 100 plus. I mean, everything is just like super hot down there. It's like really
Oh,
crazy
check
hot there.
that out.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. It's things are really crazy hot down there. You guys are just too hot.
I mean to say it is and it has been and will be. And it's just that time of year. If you live in the South, it's kind of like your winter when you're dealing with the snow and snow blowing or shoveling every day. We have to deal with the heat down here in the summertime. So,
We're too cold up here in the winter.
yep. So, how is your weather up there in the? Oh, excuse me, the wrong
Sorry, I
way.
had the other.
Hey, you can tell I'm from the South. I don't even know how to put my hand up.
That's okay. Actually, it's been pretty crummy weather. I had a festival over the weekend again, and my Saturday first show, 20 minutes in, the stage manager came up and said, "Sorry, guys, we have lightning coming, so we have to evacuate the stage." So all the stages went down Saturday afternoon. It happened exactly the same time yesterday, 20 minutes into my very first show. The stage manager comes in and says, "Sorry, we have to cut the show short." Um, So it's been kind of crazy weather up here, and now it's very nice today, very nice today. But it all blew by. So we got my second show. Everybody got their second shows in at the festival, but it's been kind of some crazy, very unsettling weather. It's been, I mean, we need the rain, but
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
been
like that
strange all
thunder and
across the
lightning. And
country this year. And, I feel so bad. And our prayers go out to those folks in Canada, north of us. Our Canadian brothers and sisters are, I mean, the fires, the smoke, the smoke has moved its way down the eastern seaboard. I even seen on a weather report a couple of days ago that even Rector Ray may be getting some smoke from the Canadian fires. The way the jet stream was flowing and blowing it, towards the Florida Panhandle. So, speaking of Rex, say hello to Rex. Got Ray
hey, Ray.
Bradshaw, Ted Flynn, John Schimmel. What else we got on today,
We got
Randy?
Ray, we got Ben, we got Kimmy, we got a whole bunch of people here showing up today. Ben, how are you? Good to see
Charlie,
you.
Nathan. Gosh, man, we
Wow.
got it. Yeah, good crowd, good crowd for sure. Rex says he did his first full suited gig today. I believe it was. And let me go back down and pick his comment back up again. Uh, Gosh, I don't see it now, but it's there somewhere. Oh, did my first today in full suit photos and promo video. Very good, Rex. That's
Wow.
the way to keep the spirit going even in the summer, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few Santa and Mrs. Clauses, of course, are doing Christmas in July, and that'll be coming up, real soon since we've hit July. So that'll be it's always a big time. Of course, I've been watching the Hallmark movies. They've been playing them in
Yes,
July. So, but
my
yeah, a
wife,
lot of Santas, of course, are doing that. Mrs. Clauses are doing that. But I
wife's
just
been
can't
watching
believe we're
those some
talking.
too. Ray Bradshaw here in North Texas with me says at least it's not as hot as the Devil's Knickers today. It has dropped a couple of degrees, but the trade off, and anyone from the South knows this, it doesn't matter if the apparent temperature is a couple of degrees cooler, the heat index is going to make it feel the same either way. I mean, if you've got a lot of moisture, a 92-degree day can feel 102. If you've got a 102 day with low moisture, it can still feel 102. So, no. Not
Hot
not
is
much of
hot.
a trade-off there.
The only thing I
Yes.
gotta say, Bob, is you've never slid through an intersection at 105 degrees. Like here, we slide through the intersections in the middle of winter, the ice, but you've never slid through the intersection on your hot days. That's and you've never shoveled the heat, have you?
No,
You've
I
never
haven't.
had to
Now,
shovel the heat.
I was lucky enough to race dirt cars, and the particular class that was my favorite class that I ran the longest, our top speed down a half mile oval, 5/8 mile oval, at 135. So I have gone sideways at 105. It just was on dirt.
It wasn't on dirt. Okay, all right, you got it. Uh, oh, sorry,
So
Ray. Yeah, there is Hallmark movies and Christmas music movies in July, Ray. Sorry, there's 24 hours a day on Hallmark, 2 channels.
Thank you, Ted. Ted says your 100th show deserves its own special day. I think Wednesday is fine. I think so too. I know my wife and family, daughter, granddaughter, son-in-law, son, daughter-in-law, the whole group, they're happy that we moved it. So going down to their place tomorrow, cook out, swim, and finish building that fence. I hope to have it 100% by tomorrow afternoon. That's my goal, and it's achievable. So if the heat doesn't get me first.
Yeah, my both of my daughters and grandkids and husbands, they're all coming over tomorrow for a barbecue. So that's where I want to get my Florida room finalized tonight. After the show, I'm going to finish up the last wall, so that'll be ready for tomorrow. I hope. I hope I get it done today. I was working on it all morning, so
It's a busy time of year for all of us. We've all got things going on. Of course, summertime, it's time to get what you can get done. Hey, Sean, how are you? AJ, hello, buddy. Randy Neely, good to see you, my friend.
Randy.
All right, so uh, I'm sure many of you saw the teasers I put out this morning. In true Ben Bellhorn fashion, I wanted to give a little bit of a teaser. We've had something working. I've kind of give a few little hints along the way, but couldn't really say anything. But we've got a big announcement coming up today in the Alpin Chatterbox News, and then we're going to elaborate more on that on Wednesday night. So if you don't catch it today, tune in Wednesday for the 100th live show special, and with our full host of hostesses and hostess. And We're going to talk it up some more. So at this point, though, I think let's go ahead and get into that big old burger. I had
Mm.
a sandwich earlier, but man, that burger always looks good.
My grill's ready for it tomorrow.
And there's that hat. All right, Randy, I got a comment over. I got it to address. It says, Bob, can you come up here and help me, please? Scott Seriton, brother, I'm sorry, but there's no help for you.
Pretty much beyond help from what I
Not at
hear.
this moment, anyway. We'll talk later. All right, Randy, go ahead, my
Oh
friend.
man, it is time. I've got a question. I kind of brought it up last week during the magical moments, but I was kind of curious because things have been, you know, roller coaster ride for me for a while, and still are. But and I guess I'm going to pose this question, and maybe you guys can help me out. How do you get yourself psyched up, or how do you get yourself all wound up for your event? There's sometimes, of course, you're a little bit of pain, a little bit of hurting. You got a kind of emotional. You've gotten a fight with one of your children or the other half or whatever, or you know, whatever it might be. How do you guys and ladies psych yourself up? Like forget all that. And we know we have to because that's part of our job. But I'm kind of looking for some other ways too to kind of be that it's showtime that that kind of like what you guys do because we're not always feeling good. We always got to worry. Oh no, the bills and that's still on your head. But oh, wait a minute, the children don't want to know we have to worry about our bills. So I'm kind of curious what you guys do and would sure help. I appreciate it. And Bob, what do you how do you get yourself kind of all ready to go?
No, Randy, that is a great question because, the season gets long and it's your first few days, you're hyped up. For me, we always have some big event to do at the mall. Last year, they brought me in on a fire truck and it's a 5K color Santa color run is what it is that we start our festivities off with. Year before, they brought me in a good friend of mine's circle track dirt car. I've been brought in a helicopter twice, open carriage with horses, stretch limo for the Mesquite Championship Rodeo. Had some really cool stuff, so I don't have too much of a problem that first week.
Mm-hmm.
It's after that first 7, 8, 10 days. Well, I wake up, I'm tired, my feet and ankles hurt, and I just get up and go do it. But it's really strange how when I go out those private doors in the back hallways into the public area, instantly I'm there. Food
Yeah.
court above, folks are hollering, screaming, waving. All the people in the stores that work there or in shopping or run into the door, and it's just always fun. And but there is times in those slow Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings when it's really hard to sit in that chair and not, get down just a little bit thinking, boy, this day is never going to end.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's that. It's just not easy sometimes because I guess Bob says you're tired. You have a long season. You do how many hundreds of hours? It could be bad weather. It could be it could have a misunderstanding at home. And something that's in the back of your mind that's playing, but we can't let our children or our clients know that that's happening. I saw Ben says I listen to Christmas music on the way to the event. That gets him all hyped up and kind of forget. Like he said, that's kind of the only time I had a problem was Make a Wish. Hard to get in the mood for that. Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it's rough when it comes to any children that are handicapped because it already is tugs at your emotions and anyway.
I
They are
agree.
a little
I
bit
agree.
um, network with other Santas. Charlie Johnson says network with other Santas on Mrs. Claus's elves to help that going. Bart says I just get suited up and usually gets me in cranked up, and that's
Uh,
sometimes that just because all of a sudden you're Santa, you're the character, and all that stuff from whatever you've got in the back of your head, or that like Bob said, your feet are hurting or your whatever is bothering you. you kind of forget about. That's exactly right. Sean,
As
also,
professionals, though, we just have to suck it up, buttercup, and go out and do it. And as professionals, we're able to do that.
yeah,
That's what's cool, when you first start off those first couple of years, it's not. I mean, you go into character, but man, after you get comfortable with your role, you get your backstories, you get comfortable in public. It's just easy to slip in and out of character if you need to.
Kimmy said music, music, same thing. That's kind of the feel, just kind of gets you all happy up. Sean White, same thing, Christmas music. As I mentally prepare each time, I go over the story that is attached to each part of the Becoming Mrs. Claus. He just then the way it sounds like Sean, he goes through her checklist, and it just kind of gets her out of whatever she's thinking about, whatever her other life is. She is now doing that, and that's fantastic. And like she said, by the time exactly what it is. Nothing else matters because, like Bob says, we're professionals, and that's the families and children don't want to know that we're hurting. They want to see that smile, and what's great about that is when we smile, they smile, and then that helps us, regardless what we got going on. If we're tired, our feet hurt, we had an argument at home, whatever it might be, our bills are piling up, when the children then smile, it just takes away all that. It's like I guess I kind of use it as it's kind of like therapy back. It kind of just helps out everything. It really builds you up. Fantastic stuff. Yeah. So kind of check everybody wondering for 4th of July. I decided that I require variety, which is why I want to sign up for a long chair. Oh, Bart, yeah, and we all should have a right, and that's what kind of helps us get psyched up for what we're doing too, because one day, like Bob said, you get excited by a limo, next day you get excited by a helicopter, and even if you're down, you can't help but get excited for that. You can't help but forget about everything that's going on in your life, if there's a catastrophe or not. You kind of don't forget about it, which is what you're looking to do, Bart, is try some things different. Remind yourself why you and what you do. Fortunately, that's what it is. We got to remember why we're doing it. We're doing it to put smiles on their faces, and it's not about our problem at the time. Exactly. Who was that Facebook user? Sorry, I want to see who that is. I apologize. Remind me. No, 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 no. Well, I'll have to look up, see who that was. Remind yourself of why and what, and that's true. We got to remind ourselves at that time, regardless of what's going on. Um, Season variety, yes, Bart. Like Bart says, the season of variety helps you keep yourself up. I mean, that's the forget about the real world, and it's crazy. It is the real world, and of course, then we have our fantasy world, and we have to portray that fantasy to everybody, and
To the
the
real
real
world.
world.
Hey,
That's kind of like
variety is variety is the spice of life, right?
Of course, Ben says, must be Santa. That's right. Exactly. We must be Santa and Mrs. Claus. And it doesn't matter what's behind. We can be going through the biggest catastrophe in the world. Of course, if we can't, if we're too sick, we can, of course, if we're physically unable to. But if we want to do that, man, it's just great ideas. And everybody's got the same concept. The variety is good just because we know we have to. And we love it, of course. I mean, it is when you give a
Well,
smile.
and to tag on to what Bart had mentioned, even me with the big contract, sitting at the mall year after year now, 10 years straight, there is variety in those because you get different families, different folks, different scenarios. I mean, it, yeah, at times when it's slow, it kind of does get a little bit boring. You have to find a way to entertain yourself in your mind, pick up your books, read your books, people watch. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to get your mind off of the time slipping by so slow. But we are professionals. We know we have a job to do. We sign contracts, and we go out and do it. And that's what sets professionals apart is they get the job done.
Man, perfect. Uh, been listening to autobiographies about Santa Claus revisited edition on this trip towards Branson. Hmm,
Yes,
cool, man.
Tom, Santa
Very
Tom
cool,
up
man.
in Vancouver, Washington. Him
Yeah.
and his wife leave 2 weeks early, heading to Branson each year. They've got family in Colorado, so they stop off for a family, gathering, get together, and so that's a good point, Tom. Great way to refresh yourself as you travel the miles away.
Fantastic, man. Just again, you guys are just spectacular. Thank you so much for always your input. It always is.
Never ceases to amaze me
Yep.
how well these answers come in, how quick they come in, and how professional everyone is in our community.
I know,
Kudos to
Bob.
everyone.
And now Bob's got a really cool question. Wait for this one. This is great.
Well, this is something that's again hot topics, and I browse through constantly looking for topics, and this one kind of popped up on a platform, and I thought, well, let's discuss it a little bit. What form of payment do you most prefer? PayPal. Now remember, PayPal has that big fee out there charging as much as 3.8%. Zelle, Zelle, you have no fees, but you must have a bank account or a credit union account to be able to use Zelle. There's Venmo. Of course, Venmo is considered a P2P, which is a free peer-to-peer platform. It's payment apps that are available for your iPhones and your Androids. There's Cash Apps. It's also a P2P. Then there's Google Play, Apple Cash, and the list goes on and on and on. More entering the community, and the scene every day. So, what form of payment do you most prefer? I've even some guys has got the Square. I mean, there's so many different things out there. I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of see what the Santa and Mrs. Claus community is using. So, tell us what form of payment you use and why you prefer it.
Rex Ray says cash is king. Of course, we all know that, Rex. Yeah, that's right. But you'd be surprised how many people just don't want to do that anymore. But yeah, I do I do PayPal and the Venmo. I've tried. I've never gotten into the Zelle. I think it's probably something I might have to. But definitely PayPal, and then I realize it's a PayPal's really up their charges like crazy now. But so like they said, cash is king. We always love that, but a lot of them don't want to do unless you're doing a house party. Not many corporates want to just give you cash. At least not in my area.
Yeah, and Ben says he's using, of course, the Kringle tracker, and
Yeah.
its integration money comes through. I myself have always used PayPal up until the fees started climbing, and they're now to the point, and the 1099s that are associated with the new government rules and stuff. I don't use PayPal. I absolutely have to. I started using Zelle this last year. Loved it. It's instant. It's great. I have no problems with Zelle. Of course, wife was in banking for 32 years, so that helps to know a little bit behind that. Venmo is another great option. So let's see who else we got here. Sean says Venmo for her. It's just used it a few minutes ago. Very good, Sean. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to go over here and pick up my names because they're showing it.
Charlie
In my
Johnson says cash, and
Yeah.
Ricky.
Santa Duck says PayPal, Square, but prefer cash or check. No extra fees. Now I will take a check also, but
Boy,
only from selected folks. Those are
that's very rare to hear the word check. That really is a
those are a crapshoot right there for sure. Shannon says cash or check most of the time. You mentioned Charlie. Bart says, I haven't settled on a standard because there are so many out there. I'm hoping that it will flush itself out and only a few will eventually remain. I have done PayPal and Venmo. Good point. Joe Steffen says, cash, you don't have to worry about checks bouncing, but we'll take checks. It's what I was just referring to also. Sean says, cash is definitely king and or queen. Depends on how you want to look at it. All right. Did I miss any, Randy?
Yes, Senator Palm.
Okay, yeah, Tom says, is Kringle Tracker going to be represented at School of Santas? I don't know, Tom. Probably have to reach out to Spangler or Jessica and we'll find that out. We'll see if we can get an answer for that one. I'm not sure. I know there was some talk there, but I don't know. Do you, Randy?
I haven't heard that they're going to be down there, or Roger or Michael or any of those guys are going to be down there at it.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think
I haven't
anyone
heard
else.
that they were going to be there. So
Yeah.
there are videos that you can that Michael and Roger have put together to learn how to do it if you get it. So um, it's would
Ben
be
says they will be in Columbus
okay. There will be
for his event.
okay.
Ray Bradshaw says Medical City, which is, of course, hospital, will be good for their checks. You hope.
It's just odd to hear the word check. It's just like they're just nobody, the old fashioned. You always had checkbooks before for
Uh-huh.
everything, and it's just not. But does anyone use global currency like bitcoins? No, sir. I just maybe I'm just too old school to think about trying to do something like bitcoins. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. It kind of make me
Oh, no.
nervous even anything about it. Um, so
It's like Rick says National Bank Card has a new system, no charge. That's good. That's fantastic. First I've heard of that.
yeah.
All right. Any other questions, comments, anything you want to throw in there real quick before we move on?
Oh man,
Sure.
I definitely is. It seems like they're all the basics still. The Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, of course, Cash is always it's always. I think it's a well-rounded. Pretty much everybody, maybe feels comfortable with different things. Like I guess I got to get into Zelle. I think I heard it's much easier. I just haven't done it, and it's probably in the next best step for me, and maybe squeeze out a PayPal because of the fee.
Yeah.
I
Zelle,
heard it's a little bit more secure, also, from what I hear.
I like Zelle. Again, I started using it last year with my photographers and really, really, really fell in love with it. Okay. Ben says he's checking with Roger and about Branson for us right now. Thank you, Ben. Facebook user, I've always gotten cash for tips. Who's that?
Rick Painter.
Rick again. Okay. Uh, Scott says I use Wave. Hey, you hadn't told me about that, Scott. You'll have to tell me about that later.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Wave. Never even heard about it. That's interesting.
I don't either.
And I have to agree with the when it says about cash and tips. Sometimes it's easier to get a tip when you are paying cash. I have to agree with that's why home visits are always easy. Whatever you're going to charge, 150, 200, 250, whatever it is, there's always that little extra in there when it's cash, and that's you know
Yeah. My very first year, me, up Angela, and Carol went and did a big home visit for I think it was 5 or 6 brothers and sisters and all their families. It was a great big event. It was really cool. Had a good time. I gave them a little bit of a break on my price because we were there a couple of hours and I broke my second hour down
mm,
and of course, as standard, slip me a Christmas card as I'm leaving, say, here, Santa, this is from the family to you. Merry Christmas. Christmas card to you and Mrs. Claus and the elves. Get out to the car, open it up, and there was $100 tip in there. And I was like, I wanted to take it back in and say, no, thank you. And then I thought, but that might insult them. So,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I kept it with a smile on my face. Bart says, if I may, your thoughts and prayers for a 5-year-old little girl named Hadley that may be nearing the end of life. I've been working with the family and she just underwent surgery, but the brain cancer is too aggressive, hoping that she passes peacefully. Bart, absolutely.
Right.
Please, everyone, say a prayer for Hadley and her family, and Bart and his family also, who have worked with this little girl. And let's see if we can at least, you know, prayers don't always mean that we're praying for total recovery because sometimes it's out of our hands, as we know. But peaceful passing is a wonderful prayer and thought. If it's inevitable, let it be peaceful.
Peaceful.
Geek Salad lets its customers tip through PayPal. Santa Doug says. All right, fantastic, Randy. Well, we've done our 30 minutes as
Fantastic, man.
usual. I mean, this segment has become
Fantastic.
a 30-minute segment any way we look at it. Of course, with our little opening and then the two
Yeah,
topics. So great job, everyone.
thank you.
Good to see what everyone else is using, opening up. Hey, a few new ones there. Santa Scott's got the
Ooh,
one, and a couple others that I hadn't heard of. Things that we can check into, but that way we all know what's out there. We all know what everyone else is using. Good, bad, or indifferent. Again, I like Zelle. It's been good to me, but I've used PayPal, which is starting to stink things up the way they do things now. But uh, you know the more it stays the same, the more it changes. So who knows? Okay, so Crinkle Tracker will not be in Branson this year. All right, fantastic, Ben. Thank you for your time and trouble there, my brother. Okay, hey, SantaCloset.org.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Santa's Closet is under new ownership. Let's welcome Santa Wade and Scarlett Kaufman of Tennessee, whom will continue the tradition of bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Don't forget to visit their sites at santascloset.org and support their efforts of bringing quality products to the community. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
We're back. Cool.
Right.
Fantastic. Yeah, good. It's always good to hear that promos. Man, they got, again, guys, go to their website. They're just fantastic. I mean, they share some stuff with our new sponsors. They took over Wade and everybody. So thank you to them. Thank you. And we got a trivia question again, everybody. Are you ready? Are we ready, Bob?
I'm ready.
All righty. Here we go, guys. What is the number one tourist attraction in San Antonio, Texas? And what are the two major attractions on the north and west side of San Antonio that features amusement rides? So we need a couple of answers there. What is the number one tourist attraction in San Antonio? And there's two. We got three answers we got to get. And there's two major attractions. One's north and one's west of San Antonio. They're amusement parks. So that gives you a big hint. Three answers. We need all three, guys. Man. Fun. You wonder how hot those rides are right now, though, with down there with you guys. Boy, oh boy, they gotta be spicy holding onto them handrails and everything. And I don't know.
Be kind of tough, wouldn't it?
Still
Hey,
be
I've been to one of our major attractions here in the Metroplex in the summertime, and yes, yeah, it was way too hot. I said I won't do that. Well, when I was younger, it was not a big deal, but as you age, your body doesn't adjust to the heat as much. So,
Nope.
all right, guys, well, y'all continue to work on that.
Three.
That destination, San Antonio, Texas, is here in Texas. Fun. We'll have more on that here in a moment, which is coming up right now. So we're going to do the exit, and we'll be right back with the big news. All right, guys, this just into the studio, hot off the wire. Elf and Chatterbox News has got a blockbuster to reveal here today. For immediate release, July 3rd, 2023. I'm going to read this. Stick with me, okay? Two Christmas schools collaborate to form North Pole Cornerstones. Santa Nana Holiday University and Santa and the Business of Being Santa provide Christmas performance skills they need to portray and manage their lives as clauses. Both SNHU and SatBobs are recognized as two educational leaders to build or expand a clause business. These two respected Christmas schools have collaborated to create a unique and entertaining education experience and will hold its first session in February 2024 in San Antonio, Texas. North Polk Cornerstones is based on the innovative and groundbreaking work from two legendary people, Lucky Royce, known as Santa Nana, and Bertram Gordon Bailey Jr. Though Lucky and Gordon have passed on, they left legacies that look at Christmas education from a different point of view. Their respective schools continue to share their knowledge and passion with new and experienced Christmas performers across the country. North Pole Cornerstones presents both performance and business topics essential to clauses at every stage. The 2-day program, which is looking like it may become a 3-day program, but right now we're announcing this 2-day program, will cover topics including the history of gift givers, character development, fashions, business aspects, ethics, working solo, as a couple, and as a team, sessions on performance, and much, much, much more. Participants will leave with a new outlook on the season ahead, a network of supportive colleagues, and prepared to create unforgettable experiences for children of all ages. SNHU and SatBobs continue as separate schools, yet come together to celebrate the collective and collaborative spirit of Lucky and Gordon. North Polk Cornerstones invites those interested in becoming a clause and those who want to further develop their portrayals to attend this one-of-a-kind event. Visit npcornerstones.com for more information about our program. Our instructors will be Deanna Golden, Judith Roderick, Chrissy Kovic, Rex Ray, and myself, Bob McMasters. We have vendor showcase application forms on the website as well as registration. Go over and visit us. We got an about page, got a complete website set up. Thank you to all my colleagues who we have been working on this for months. And it actually started before Gordon's passing and has come together nicely. We've been having lots of committee meetings, lots of work behind the scenes. I cannot tell you how hard my colleagues have worked to put this together and to make this a different kind of school. We're going to do things that neither schools have done before. We've come up with some great new inventive ideas, role-playing activities, night out on the town. San Antonio is the #1 destination in Texas. Great things to do in San Antonio. We're going to have so much doggone fun. I'm so excited. We got Branson coming up. Excited about that. Got this coming up. Before we know it, early February we'll be here. So stay with us. More to come. We're going to talk more about it on the Wednesday night, Tuesday night live special. Going to have so much more coming. And I'll leave it at that.
Wow. What a combo, huh, guys? That's a great announcement, Bob. And come on, those two schools combining together, the talent and the stuff you're going to learn.
Yeah. A little story behind Lucky and Gordon, both having cancer, both passing, both starting new schools. I mean, there's so much rich history there, and their time together talking about things and sharing meals. And I mean, it's a cool deal. I'm so honored to be a part of it. I'm so honored to have the colleagues that I have that I'll be working with, none better in the industry of what they do, and I'm a lucky person.
What a great way to start the year next year, 2024, going to a school like that. I mean, that's just kickstart your happiness for the year. I mean, that's
yes, and like I say, more about it on Wednesday. We won't harp too much today, but there's the announcement. We'll leave it at that. Just remember, NP Cornerstones with an S, Cornerstones. That's Lucky and Gordon Cornerstones, our Cornerstones, and our Cornerstones are legendary, and that's what our motto is going to be. So, okay, glad to get that out. All right, Randy, let's go on to the TNL 100 live show celebration.
Wednesday night, guys. Remember, we're not doing it tomorrow night because it is the 4th of July. So look at Wednesday night, the 5th. So we need a whole new special night because it is the 100th. That's right, guys, the 100th anniversary of 100 shows of Tuesday Night Live. That's got nothing to do with our Monday shows. That's just Tuesday Night Live. Just think how many things we have learned, laughed, cried on here on Tuesday Night Live. I mean, incredible. Touched, learned. I mean, it's just 100 of those, Bob.
All
I mean,
the
that's a
superior
lot. That's a lot, buddy.
a lot of superior guests on these shows.
Yeah. Just, I mean, just phenomenal. I mean, everybody, they're pouring what they've done, what they want. I mean, every guest has wanted to share their knowledge, their experiences with open arms. And that's what is so amazing with this community. And most people don't understand that about this community is how much love, how much care, how much connection there is between people. I think I think a lot of people don't think it's even real, but it is because we just want to give back. And because we want everybody to be as good as they can. And Tuesday Night Live has helped that out so much for so many people be better because of all the education. But remember, Wednesday night, the 5th, is going to be Tuesday Night Live. Even though it's going to be Wednesday night, it's Tuesday Night Live on Wednesday the 5th for the 100th episode. Don't miss it, guys. And of course, it's always on YouTube. It'll always be replayed on Facebook. So don't miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to hear more about the great class coming up next year. Even more information. I tell you.
And Randy, Jessica, Rex, Scott, Spangle, Angela, Bob, we're all going to be there.
Man, it's going to be a full
And
house.
we reached out to see if Mel's going to be available. I had asked her once before, but I want to make sure before, Wednesday night that she's going to be on. But she's coming on as far as I know.
Mel.
Add her to the group, and again we reached out to one other, hoping to get that person on also. We'll find out here, but tune in Wednesday night, right? Yeah.
That's right. Man, it's just, I mean, that's just.
What else you gonna do on a Wednesday night?
Yeah, it's just Wednesday night. I mean, it's just what they used to call it, hump day. Yeah, that Camel's gone. They don't even do those commercials anymore, which is sad. They were great commercials. They don't do them anymore. They still do the commercials. Would be a little different, but you don't need to be watching that because those commercials aren't on anymore. So join us on Wednesday the 5th for Tuesday Night Live on Wednesday the 5th. Oh boy, talk about confusing. But of course, then guys, on the 11th, July 11th, man, Jackie, again, I always read the same thing, simply Mrs. Claus. I always read that, and it's like, no, you're not. But that's what she goes as. I love the name, but it's just not simply Mrs. Claus. She is such a professional Mrs. Claus and entertainer with many, many years of experience. You guys are going to just be blown away by Jackie on July 11th. Yep, July 11th to be the middle
I'm
of
stoked.
Man, oh man. And then, guys, starts Branson for 2 weeks live shows. Mel's going to, I saw Mel in here somewhere. Mel's here. She's going to be our roving reporter there doing things. If it's going to be in the dealer's room, if it's going to be in between classes. So there's going to be stuff going on all the time. So we've got 2 weeks of that going on of Branson. And like I said, Bob, I don't know how you're going to handle 2 weeks of nonstop, 7 a.m. till probably 11, 12 o'clock at night for 2 weeks straight. Nothing personal, Bob. You're not as young as you used to be, nor
sure
any of us. So it's going to be a riot, guys. Don't miss Branson. I mean, it's just, what is that saying that says where education and entertainment meet? Is that the right one? Man, and it's true. I mean, and it's not just that. It's like I said, we can't put a price on fellowship and learning. So 2 weeks, and of course we all know that Ed Taylor's going to be there for those 2 weeks. There's shows, there's food involved because you pay one price for the whole thing. I mean, Spangle, he started this thing. So if you haven't got it, get there. At least the second week. The first week sold out, so it might not work. But that's for 2 weeks. Then on the 20, I better look at this one here. The 25th, all the way to the 25th. it's going to be the big recap show of Branson. I mean, there's going to be so much to talk about for 2 weeks. I mean, it's going to fill an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it's going to end up being, recapping the incredible 2 weeks and everybody you spend time with, hanging out with dinner and laughing at the shows and education. That show on the 25th will be just full of so much fun, hearing about what happened. Sorry to say, some people are going to have to miss it, but we can't all go. But wait a minute, I'm going. Oh, never mind. Not for 2 weeks, though. I can't do that. And then August 1st, yes, guys, we got to say August 1st. It's Shaun White. Shaun's here today. Again, Shaun is does incredible Mrs. Claus. She's goes as like a vintage. She has some great costuming. She does so much independently, which is so great to hear. That Mrs. Claus's has gone from here to just boom, so much, and that's what should happen. They're entertainers too. Mrs. Claus's are just as good, if not better, than some of us guys. They've got such a great mind, and they just know sometimes more how to talk to people. So don't miss Shaun White on August 1st. Wow, August 1st. Come on, Bob. That's almost impossible. August 1st already. Then we've got some time in between, but we got plenty of guests coming up. Oh, there's some other guests we've been talking to. And then, of course, we can't forget our buddy since day one. That's right, since day one, Scott Parker. That's right. Scott's going to be on. It's going to be great to see him. He has been a part of 100 episodes. He's seen them all. So Scott's going to be our guest, which is just going to be a great show, talking about stuff. Of course, maybe we can convince him make another one of those cool belt buckles, Bob Scott. They're phenomenal. I'm sorry, they were just like, if you want to like somebody with that thing, wear that buckle. So again, that is on the 22nd. Of course, there's so much more after that. And remember, it's always that one word, my favorite F word. It's free. Don't forget that. That's okay, Bob. That's okay. But guys, remember, it is. This is all free. I mean, it's just your time to learn. And that's the thing. Don't miss it. And how much time and effort everybody puts into it. We just love you guys so much because you spend the time with us. If it's Monday or Tuesday, we appreciate it. But remember, it's free. Free. Wait a minute, I take my eyes out like that. There we go. But it is. We kind of make a joke about it, but it's not a joke. I mean, it's we are Bob is and every other guest is helping everybody with free education and just free fellowship. So join us on Tuesday Night Live. Again, forget Wednesday this week though. Wednesday the 5th for Tuesday Night Live for the 100th episode, guys. Man, it just boggles my mind to think.
Just it doesn't seem possible. Speaking of Scott Parker, he is our resident comedian, and he's always putting funny comments into the box. Makes me laugh constantly. He and I are as bad as Gordon and I was. We'll get on the phone and stay on the phone 2-3 hours at a time. Fantastic person, love him to death, and he's groundbreaker. He's made us rewrite some rules and stuff on the show. But going back to the ladies, the bookends for Branson, Jackie on one end, Shaun on the other. Oh my gosh. I mean, we're so lucky. We're so lucky.
They have this great perspective of everything now, which is just such an addition to what it was the old school days where it's Santa sat and did this. And now you have this great just entertainment value that these ladies have that are just, man, thank you all, ladies. I mean, really.
Well, and I think Deanna Golden puts it the best is that the Mrs. Clauses are writing their own history right now as we live it.
Yeah, you really are. It's
where Santa's history has been written for eons. Mrs. Claus is rewriting and writing and new chapters, adding new chapters.
And it's so nice to see the diversity and the different look, the style, the concept, the thought process. It's just, it's heartwarming. It's like, it's mind-boggling. It's besides extremely entertaining for the children. And that's the bottom line. You know.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, fantastic. Let's not forget to mention 2 weekends to choose from for Branson. Week 1 is actually sold out. Week 2 is not. If you'd like to come and just shop the vendor's room, get with Spangle. He's got arrangements made to be able to do that. The Ozark Santas are coming up as a group and gonna come in for a little bit. A lot of things going on. Spangle's got a ton of new products that he's debuting. I mean, a bunch of new stuff he's debuting at Branson this year. And we don't want to forget to mention Ben Bellhorn's Ohio school that he's put together with Lee Andrews and Jeff McMullen, two of the best in the industry in performance. Check him out. If, Charlie said he hadn't hit the lottery yet. San Antonio's a long way away. Well, that's what's so glorious about it is we're in the South and Ohio's in the North. So choose one of us. Get out this next year. If you can't make it to Branson, make it to Ohio or make it to San Antonio or make it to all three.
Yeah, we all have a budget too, but I mean, regardless where you go, I mean, it's going to be a great learning experience, regardless where you go. That's the whole thing. I mean,
2024 is
and they're
just
all what great about it between those two, they're all brand new. I mean, we're talking Bob and Santa Ana's. That's going to be a brand new experience. Ben's going to be a brand new experience. Of course, Branson is always an experience upon itself. So regardless what you guys can financially do or can't do, just go to something. I mean, really, and that's it's out there for everybody. And
and, and, and Jeff and Lee being from the clowning, community, uh, being tied to Leon McBride and, all the different aspects of what their whole history just in clowning alone has to offer. And then to bring those two giants together, uh, Ben couldn't do any better. I mean, fantastic for Ben. We're excited about, uh, our North Pole Cornerstones collaboration between St. Bob's and Santa Ana Holiday University. And again, and then there's Branson. So there's all kinds of choices. You got Ohio, you got Missouri, and you got Texas. Somewhere along the northern, central, and southern portion of the country, we've got you covered.
yeah, you can. It's not more than 5-6 hour drive to somewhere, in that area. So even if it's 7 hour, 8 hour, it's not that far. So it's just you don't have to take a plane to all those, every one. So it is just man, it's gonna
Do
be
like Tom High, Santa Tom. Leave Washington a couple of weeks early, make a vacation, and we're gonna do the same thing with Branson. I'll be rolling in on Branson, me and my wife on Monday. We start setting up Tuesday. Wednesday, we finalize our setup. Thursday at 10:30, we open registration, and then the school starts shortly after lunch and goes through Sunday night. So I mean, again, lots to do. All right, let's move on to our trivia answer. Now, this was a good one. This was kind of a lead-in for the announcement. But what is the number one tourist attraction in San Antonio, Texas? And what are the two major attractions on the north and west side of San Antonio that feature amusement rides? Number one tourist destination in Texas is the Alamo. Okay, very good. The two amusement rides parks, SeaWorld and Fiesta Texas Six Flags. And we we've got some cool stuff going on for the North Pole Cornerstones. Again, we'll announce more as we go, but those destinations of the Alamo, the Riverwalk, the marketplace, everything there is to do in San Antonio, it's a great destination. Our winner, Angela?
Miss Shauna White.
Ms. John White. Fantastic,
congratulations,
John. Good
John.
job.
Good
Good
job.
job.
So you'll be able to see Sean, of course, on the first year, but you also Sean is also teaching a class up at the Red Suit Conclave up in Saginaw the first weekend in August. So don't forget about that one either. So if you come from Canada, you come from other places, we've got even closer for you. So don't forget the Red Suit Conclave. Another one
That's
to come
right.
to.
That's right. We can't.
Man, it's all over the place, but that's what's so great about this community is we have so many options and so many places that you can go to. That just it's all to progress and to advance our craft, and to make those children smile, and that's
And
what
our community grows in leaps and bounds each year. Now we do lose some to attrition, to passing, retirement, illness, different things. But I think that our industry is still growing at a faster pace than what we're losing. So our numbers are growing. Those opportunities for the new guys, and then as we've set up with the North Pole Cornerstones and many other schools have set up, it's not just for the new guys anymore. It's a balance of everybody. Guys that will come that's been doing it 20 years say, "Wow, I learned several things new I didn't know," or so don't think that it's just for the new guys, and don't everybody have to go to a school. A lot of guys prefer just to learn by the seat of the pants. But so many of us that have been to these events see the value in them, and we get out and try to go as many as we can. I'm looking, Ben. I'm looking really hard, brother. I want to come to Ohio for your deal, really, really, really bad. So we'll just have to see how far everything goes this year. But I'm excited for 2024.
Just, I mean, that's what is so exciting. We have such a variety. Back when I first started doing that, and a lot of guys started, there were no schools. I mean, there was Charles W. Howard. That was it. And way back when I started, it was you had to get a sponsor. You had to be kind of voted in to go. It wasn't like now you just send your money and you're going to go to the school. It was totally different way back in the 70s, 80s, and way back there to go to Charles W. Howard. So that's all there was. Now, oh my goodness, it's like I said, Bob said, you don't need to drive a long ways or whatever. I mean, there's plenty of schools out there, and it's is to make new guys or us old guys more excited and help us through and learn new. I learned something about some, the different ways, the how to take your money. Everything is a learning experience, especially at a school. So it doesn't matter if you've been doing it 2 years or 22 years or 42 years. Don't miss the school.
That's right. Wow, what a magical moment. Speaking of, you ready? Let's do it.
Hey, everybody, it is the magical moment time. I want to thank you guys again for letting me spend some time with you and talk about what's going on here, some of my ideas. And can you believe Christmas Day? Christmas Day is only 174 days away. So that means it's all over 174 days. So most of us are going to start in the middle of October or middle of November or even beginning of November, whatever it is. So it definitely is time now to come up with something new. I want to show you a trick here that actually I'm going to tell you who made it. Is actually Jim Tate. He is one of the founders of MAPS here, Michigan Association of Professional Santas. It's a trick that was basically based upon a magic trick that was made many, many years ago. We're talking back in the 1900s. I know it sounds bad, 1900s, but about 1960 some, a gentleman named Mark Wilson actually made it. It was called Out to Lunch, but Jim Tate kind of changed it a little bit to a naughty and nice routine. It's a cute little trick that you could always have in your pocket. I know there's a lot of Santas up in the Michigan area because Jim Tate's from here that has got this, but it's a cute little deck of pictures with a little elf on it, and the back says naughty or nice. Now this is something also that Spangle has, but it's a little different. Spangles are a little larger. It's the same concept, but I just want to show you guys there's so many wonderful things you can do with it. So what you do is you tell the children, oh, we're going to see if you're naughty or nice. Of course, Bernard will tell you if you're naughty or nice. What they do is you have the child sign their name here. I'm going to put Sam because we're going to see if Bob's been naughty or nice. I'm going to put the word Bob on there, naughty or nice. We're going to see if that happens. And then what you do is you just take that down. Nothing's checked. We don't know yet, but Bernard's going to help us with that. So we're going to take it out. We're going to take that and I'm going to set it right on top. Whoop, I'm sorry, I got out of the film. Going to set right on top. You can do this all in front of everybody. Now, what you've got to do is you've got to ask Bernard. Bernard, is Bob naughty or nice? You better check the box for me. So right in their hands, right in front of them, they'll take the magic marker off, and they'll lift up the card and they'll pick it up and they'll see the card that they signed. Oh, and it's Bob is nice. So it's a cute little routine that you can keep in your pocket. It doesn't matter if you're Santa now in June, July. You have them with you, just like our coins. You bring that along, and then you just tell the children audio. Of course, Spangle has one too. It's a little larger. It does the same concept. It has a few checklists, but the magic trick itself is the same. So you can get it from Jim Tate, which sells them here, or of course Spangle's got him on his website. But it's a cute little routine to and it of course comes with a pattern, everything to do all throughout the year, especially if you look like Santa when you guys are white all year. It's a great little thing to have. I know Michael Howe uses it. I think he probably uses it daily. But it's such a heartwarming. Of course, you can also, if you want to, yes, you can check the naughty box. Sometimes, if you're doing something a little different, it doesn't always have to be nice, but that's something you decide what pack you've got. Like I've got a pack here. I've got some extra packs here. One is packed as naughty. One is packed is means nice. So it depends upon what type of routine I'm doing. If you want to do naughty or nice, I know sometimes we want to get away from the naughty or nice thing because we would rather say, how do we get on the nice list or things like that instead of any children being naughty. But but uh, but it still is. Most people remember the naughty and nice list that Hannah's checks, and it's such a fun little routine. But always take your time. Take time with a friend. Take time with another Santa or Mrs. Claus, and think of some fun ideas. Just like I've talked in weeks past. Take your mind and just take it out of that area for just a few minutes and try to come up with a fun routine of some kind. And then we still have that going on, and we're going to extend the the challenge till after Branson. We're going to extend it to then, but because I've got a couple in, and there's fantastic ones. We would like to have them come on the Monday show and show their ideas of what they've come up with. But it is such a great thing to do, especially when because then you're learning improv at the time when you grab something. If it's a big cookie, yes, that's a big cookie. We all make the comment about round cookies and all that, but there's plenty of things you can do or start thinking about. But what are the things to say besides, oh, I love round cookies, or I love the one I'm eating, or whatever the stock question answers are. Take a few moments and then just jot down maybe some new ideas, some new things, and then you will be special. Like I said before, we all get booked as Santa, but you want to get booked as you as Santa or Mrs. Claus. So you have to stand out that little bit more. So if you can take that cookie thing and they won't forget, oh, it's a cookie, I love it, and you've got some other idea, they'll remember that instead of saying, I love the round ones, which I always laugh anyway, of course, and we know what kind Daddy likes, of course, the one in his tummy or the snickerdoodles. Oh, I love those snickerdoodles. They make me laugh every time. We all do that. But if you take it one step further, to personalize just for you, they'll remember you as Santa or Mrs. Claus. So that's the magical thing that we can do from us to them. Not just always magic tricks, but the magical time we can give them, and share that belief a little longer, share that love, which we always do anyway, which you guys do every Monday and Tuesday with us. Thank you so very much. I can't be any more blessed. I can't thank you guys enough for how much this has helped me throughout my time. You have no idea. I want to thank you so much. Bottom of my heart to you guys. Thank you. See you soon.
And remember, folks, Magical Moments is brought to you by Randy, and it is
Free. Da, 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 da.
fantastic job, Randy. Great advice as always, my friend. And just in, Santa Mel, Melissa Lynn Rickard has just confirmed she will be on Wednesday night with us for the Tuesday Night Live special, 100th episodes. Fantastic. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, thank you,
Find a
thank
house
you.
yet, Mel? Did you find a house yet, Mel? Did you find a house yet, Mel?
Where's that voice?
Huh?
Right. Mel is moving to Michigan, everybody. Yeah, Mel's moving to Michigan. Woo-hoo! So I don't know if she found a house yet. She's been looking. So
All right, fantastic. Mel says yay. All right. Good job, Randy, as always. Let's go ahead and jump on our Santa's Plot checklist, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, send us flight checklist for today. Doing your homework up front, making sure you are always well prepared. Today's checklist, let's talk about directions. That's right, directions. This week, let's continue our preparation for the season. Yes, we all use Google Maps or some form of GPS navigational apps, but you should still have a well-planned route with an alternate route in case of traffic woes and or whatever else might pop up along the way. I have used Google Maps for my go-to and always print out on my printer the route with the alternate route highlighted just in case I need it. It gives you the travel time as well as the mileage and will direct you straight to the address you desire. But that is not enough. All right, for multiple destinations. When doing multiple visits and or gigs, always try to plan your route, your day, so that you hopefully will not be going in one destination and then back across town, only have to go back across town again for the next gig. I know that, sometimes if you can, it's not always feasible, is what I'm trying to say when booking. But if you can check and see if your client has any flexibility, and I've done this in the past, check your booking calendar to see what times for that date you may have already booked, and if the client would work with you to maybe, just maybe, avoid bouncing around town in a circle with a zigzagging back and forth like a clown car full of 2 dozen lost clowns. But not that there's anything wrong with that. But be sure and leave yourself some built-in time for meals and travel times between gigs, and always have a well planned out, printed outline of where you're going, where your address is, confirm the route. Always check and see ahead. There's also traffic apps. You can check your traffic apps and see if one way has got a wreck or the highway shut down for one thing or another. But always be well prepared, and that is our directions. Santa's flight checklist for today.
You have to, because you never know. I mean, here in Michigan, of course, we have construction zones, but that's in the summer. But you still have to get from point A to point B, and if there's an accident because of the snow, and Santa can't not show up or be late because there's snow. I mean, it can't be in the northern half of the states. You have to have an alternative because of that. And like Bob said, perfect thing to say time and time again. Bob said,
Randy, Randy, I don't know what's happened, but your audio is very, very, very low now.
oh, really? Oh, I wonder what that changed.
Yeah, there's a beeping noise.
And Angela says there's a beeping noise coming from your house. I hope it's not fixing to
Explode?
take off and go to the moon.
Wow, that's weird. Wonder what that's started from.
I don't
Not
know.
familiar? All new, huh? Well, we're almost done, thank goodness. Maybe I'll keep.
Ray says that we have a little bit of an echo too. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, let's just say this real quick. We have extended the deadline for the Randyl Challenge, the prop and backstory short, to July 24th, and we will announce our winners on July 31st. And you will be asked to appear on the show August 7th. That gives you 3 dates. Our deadline is July 24th. The announcement was made on the 31st, and you'll come on the show on the 7th. So, all right, Randy, fantastic job, brother. You always knock it out of the ballpark. I'm always excited to be on with you. Bestest co-host with the most ass I've ever had. Fantastic job, my friend.
Thank you, Angela.
We're going to go ahead and close out here.
That's weird. Kind of changed. Sorry.
I don't know what happened, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining us here on Monday. Be sure and catch us not tomorrow night, but Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. More talk about the NorthPoleCornerstones.com, NorthPoleCornerstones.com. Be sure and check out the Bob Randall live preview show on YouTube if you have not. If you're watching from YouTube, which I think Senator Tom was today, check us out on Facebook. Either way, just check us out. All right, guys. Happy 4th of July. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. And we will see you back here on Wednesday night and hopefully back here next Monday.